From life model to masterpiece, how nude paintings are created. What transforms a simple pose into a powerful work of art? The answer is not just talent. It is observation, patience, and the ability to see beyond the surface. Every great nude painting begins with a living person, a model holding a pose that may last only a few minutes or several hours. Yet the finished artwork often becomes something far greater than a record of that moment. The journey begins with life drawing. For centuries, artists have studied the human figure from live models. Renaissance masters, classical painters, and contemporary artists alike have used life drawing as the foundation of their artistic training. When a model takes a pose, experienced artists do not immediately focus on details. Instead, they look for the overall gesture of the body. They ask simple questions. Where is the weight being carried? How does the spine curve? What emotion does the pose suggest? These first observations are often captured in quick sketches. They may appear rough and unfinished, but they contain the energy and movement that give a figure life. Once the gesture is understood, the artist begins studying anatomy. Contrary to what many people believe, artists do not need to memorize every muscle and bone. What matters is understanding how the body is constructed and how different parts work together. The shoulders support the arms. The spine connects the upper and lower body. The pelvis helps determine balance and movement. This knowledge allows artists to create figures that feel natural and convincing. But anatomy alone is not enough. Light plays an equally important role. Artists carefully observe how light falls across the body, creating highlights and shadows. These subtle variations transform a flat canvas into a three-dimensional form. A shoulder catches light differently than a forearm. A curved torso reflects light differently than a straight leg. Through careful observation, artists learn to sculpt with paint rather than stone. As the work progresses, something interesting happens. The artist begins making creative decisions. Perhaps a background is simplified. Perhaps certain colors are emphasized. Perhaps the pose is adjusted slightly to strengthen the composition. At this stage, the painting moves beyond documentation. The artist is no longer copying reality. The artist is interpreting it. This transformation is what separates a study from a finished work of art. A successful nude painting is not simply about representing the human body. It is about expressing beauty, emotion, vulnerability, strength, or even a story. For me, this journey began through life drawing classes and the opportunity to work with live models. Those experiences taught me that the human figure is one of the most challenging and rewarding subjects an artist can study. Every pose is different, every model brings a unique presence, and every painting becomes a conversation between observation and imagination. The next time you look at a nude painting, remember that you are seeing much more than a figure on a canvas. You are seeing hours of observation, artistic choices, and creative interpretation brought together into a single image. That is how a life model becomes a masterpiece. Thank you for listening.